Welcome to the ZZZ Real Estate Management System. You've made a great decision to implement one of the most comprehensive tools available to make your real estate business better, quicker, and easier. Hi, my name is Kevin. My goal is to help you get started and acclimated with the system. Then, once you are started, you have at your access video tutorials that you can go to as often as you need to for answers to any questions that you might run into later. Now let's get started. Open your web browser and type in www.zzzrealestate.com. When the home page comes up, you'll see the sign-in block areas, which you'll need to type in your username and your password, which you should have received from me previously. I'm going to type in to get us started. And the first time when you sign in, you're going to have to accept the terms and conditions. As you can see here, all you have to do after you've read them is just click on accept or decline. We'll click on accept to get started. It says you have accepted and welcome to ZZZ Real Estate. Alright, get started. What I'd like for you to look at is on the left hand side you'll see 4 different blocks. First one says account management, and then property dashboard, modules, and tools. And across the top you'll see 6 smaller boxes titled leads, purchase, rehab, for sale, accepted offer, land contract, and rental. Think of these as file cabinets that will keep track of your properties throughout the find, fund, fix, flip, fill process. Of course, right now it's a blank slate until you start to load your information in. But the best part is the system comes packed full of standard templates, checklists, and system information to get you started, yet gives you full capability to modify to fit your situation. So let's take a look at the features that you'll need to modify and update to get you started. Let's look in the upper left hand corner and you'll see the box titled Account Management. Underneath there you'll see Options and Settings and Video Tutorials. That Video Tutorials is what I talked about earlier. At any time you can come back in and for any question you have you'll be able to see a video tutorial just like the one that you're going through right now. This is your 24/7 helpline for any question that you may have about the system. Okay, right above there you see the options and settings. We're going to click on that, and this is where you're going to start to be able to see the information that you can change to make your own. Let's click on user information. Now you were provided with a generic password to get started, but here's where you can go in and change not only your phone number, your email address, but you can change your password to make it whatever you want for here going forward. If at any time you'd ever forget your password, even if you call in, we can't see it any more than what you can. So I'd have to reset it and assign you a new generic password so that you can get started again. Okay, now just make sure that anything that you change here, that you go down and click on your Save Settings. And now your status is updated. The next thing I'd like to show you is the REO formula link. If you click on that, you'll see a box that you can type in. Think of this as what your profit margin is that you want to use. I'll give you an example. Say you want to use 70% of your after repaired value. Well, here's where you type in 70%. And then hit save. Now there's also, if you would feel that you need it, there's an advanced setting there that you can make tiers based on maybe the price range of the houses that you're bidding on. If you wanted to use a different formula number for a higher price range house, for example, you could type in say 250,000, maybe your formula would be 72% or 75%. But to get started with, 70%, 65%, whatever for your starting point should be good across the board. All right, so the next one that you have to change or add in information for yourself would be the inspection defaults. And under the inspection defaults, this is for your checklist. And you can see there's several different columns here: item, type, cost. And under the item, these are defaults that we have found just about every time you go through a property. These are items that would have to be repaired. So you can see there's the roof, gutters, windows, siding, exterior paint, and so on and so forth. The next column, there's actual 4 different categories in this column: a flat fee, quantity per, actual dollars, or square foot. Like in this case, for interior paint, it has a dollar amount there of 75 cents per square foot. So if your house was 1,000 square foot, it would automatically calculate, if you chose to put a figure in there, $750 to be able to do interior paint. Or like here at the top for windows, it says $145 per window. If you would, when you were doing your inspection, typed in 4 windows, it would times 4 times $145 to be able to give you a total automatically. If you wanted to change any of this, whether it be the dollar amount or the type or possibly even the description, you'd go in and click on Edit, scroll down to the bottom. There's where you change the description. Here's where you could change the type code, and here's where you could change the dollar amount. And again, once you've typed that in, just make sure that you click on Save, and now it becomes part of your default. This is how the system knows how to calculate and give you the dollars and when you go through and do your inspection. The big advantage of this is when you're out in the field and you walk through and you're trying to get through the house quickly, this eliminates any calculation errors that you might make, and it gives you a great quick mechanism or tool to be able to keep all of your dollar amounts together. And you can save it to the property and it becomes part of the property profile. Now let's look at the bottom left of the dashboard in the Tools section. Contact Directory. Click on Contact Directory, and it's going to come up, and here's where you think of this as your electronic database. This is your Power Team Rolodex. The first section that comes up is Contractors. If you look at the drop down arrow, there's other different sections already preloaded in there. And again, remember, right now there's nothing in there because you haven't loaded any of your information in there. If you want to add a new section, something that's not already in there, here's where you'd click on New Section, and you just fill in the information and then Create. To get started, you're going to have to add your own information in there. Say your contractors, your insurance agents, private lenders possibly, tenants if you have any current tenants right now, realtors. Okay, so it takes a little bit of time, but here's where you'd want to start and get that loaded, because as you start loading properties in later, you'll need some of that information to be able to load for each of the properties as you enter them. If you click on the drop down arrow you saw, you can look at the different other sections. These are critical background sections that you'll need to add or change as you get started. Now let's add a property. If you go back up under Property Dashboard, see where it says Add New Property? Click on Add New Property. If you don't currently have a property in your profile right now, say you don't have a property already with a rental property, or you don't have something that you're rehabbing, just make up a property. It's alright to play around with right now. and give you a chance to be able to get into the system and move it around to the different checklists. So I'm going to enter up a property 11 Prophet Street. In Utown, Ohio 45504, county Clark County. And here's where you have a choice of where to put it at. So if you do already have it as a rental property, you could go right down to rental and it will move it right to that step and put it in that checklist. Maybe you're in the process of purchasing it. You could go in and type in purchase. Maybe it's on a rent to own. So the advantage here is at the beginning you can load it right to where it's actually at in the process. So for right now, let's load it into a rehab process. It's going to come up and it's going to give me some options like put in a lockbox. I can go in and load contractors, and this is where I said you'll want to load your contact information in first, because there's going to be fields that's going to ask you for those, and here's one of the first ones. It's asking for you to load any contractors that's working on your rehab for you. Okay, so now you've got properties added, you've got some of your personal information loaded. What I'd suggest for you to do now is get in and just play around, because as you do it, you're going to come up with questions, and you can use the video tutorials. You can contact me at coachk@acalgill.com. That's coachk@acalgill.com, or call into the office 937-390-0816, and we'll be glad to help you. I wish you much success and look forward to meeting you somewhere down the line and hear your success stories. Thanks. Have a great day.